According to Urban Dictionary, the word boofing means inserting drugs or having someone insert drugs into your body through your anus. The better experience is allowing someone to blow the substance inside you with a straw. Now that you know what boofing means, let's get on with the story. I am an occasional drug user, maybe doing drugs once every 6 months, and usually only ecstasy or acid. Because of my metabolism, I normally have to take 2 to 3 pills, which can get expensive, and I didn't have a lot of money on me. I went to this party where this guy had some crystal, which I had only done once or twice before, and I let myself be convinced to do it. At first, we started to smoke it, and I did about 7 inhalations in about an hour or so. Not that bad. I felt really horny, really animated, and generally okay. And that's when I got stupid. My friend told me we should try booty bumps, which is where things got bad. He took about 12 to 14 small crystals and mixed it with some water, about 5 tablespoons, out of the crystal meth bong water, and then proceeded to fill up 2 regular-sized needleless syringes almost 3/4 of the way. I was then directed to take the syringe and put it up my butt and release the meth-infused water into it, which, stupidly, I did. This was at about 4 a.m. All I wanted to do was try something new and to get some energy, which I heard meth was great for. If I had any idea of what was to come, I would have stopped myself. By about 10 a.m., I was starting to come down from the meth and went home from the party, still a bit in the la-la everything is fine with the world shtick. I hung out with my roommate and took a 2-hour nap, thinking that the experience was over. However, at 4 p.m., almost 12 hours after the booty bump, all hell broke loose. At first, I could feel my heart starting to speed up, and by speed up, I mean to almost 160 beats per minute. Then, my ears started to ring really badly, and I started to see things with my eyes, mostly just color changes, almost like a small acid effect. Then my body started to heat up, and I started to sweat profusely through my hands and feet, like somebody had stuck them in ice for hours. My arms and legs also started to tingle pretty badly. At this point, I started to freak out, as nothing like this had ever happened to me, even worse, because I was alone. I went to the bathroom and took an ice-cold bath to try and get the fever under control. After about a half hour in the bath, I felt my fever break and called a friend of mine to come over and monitor me. Actually, I really wanted to go to the hospital, but he wouldn't let me go. Through this entire time, I'm trying my best to keep my heart rate down. I am drinking lots of water in the hopes of flushing it out and practicing meditation techniques to control my heart rate, which was only mildly effective. I was able to get it down to about 130 from 160. My normal heart rate is around 60. For the rest of the night, I had to be half carried to the bathroom and back, and every time I stood up, I almost blacked out. I would also see these yellow diamond kind of sparkles in my vision, and my ears were practically roaring. My heart also started to really pound, and I mean really pound, and it started to really heat up and get warm, which I count to all the blood and the speed at which it was beating at for so long. Needless to say, I was an unhappy camper. I kept begging my friend to take me to the hospital because I felt like I could be ODing, or at least borderline, per one of the meth websites, but he wouldn't take me. He was afraid, and rightly, that if I had gone, the police would have gotten involved and it would have been put on my record and I would lose the new job I just got, which is in the securities industry, stocks and bonds. As the night wore on, all I could do was lie down and drink lots of water, which was in addition to a lot of whimpering and praying. The entire time I was afraid for my life and I was doing everything I could not to panic. I did not feel euphoric or horny or even filled with energy. I felt like my chest was going to explode. Also, my vision looked like someone had taken cotton and made everything fuzzy. It was really hard to see anything detailed. At around 10 p.m., by this time, my heart had been beating at around 139 to 140 beats per minute for almost 6 straight hours. I was able to put myself into a light trance and fall into a light sleep. I woke up throughout the night, but I seemed to be coming off it. The next morning, Monday morning, I had taken the meth Saturday night. I could stand and not black out or fall down, and was able to take a shower and get dressed for work. Unfortunately, my pupils were still huge and my heart rate would start to race once I stood up and moved for any duration of time, so I ended up calling in sick. It's 2:30 p.m. now, same day, and I'm still in bed drinking lots of water. I can move around some, but my heart will begin to speed up to about 120 if I do too much. My fingers are still tingling and my feet are still cold, though not quite as cold as they were. My vision is for the most part normal, though looking at the computer screen, every now and then it goes into 3D. My heart rate seems to be staying around 100 to 120 beats per minute, which is a hell of a lot better than 160. I've noticed when I take a nap and wake up, I'm almost normal, but the moment I start moving around, it speeds up. Even typing this is making my heart rate go up to 120. So, what does this mean to me? 1. If you're going to take meth, take it in small doses. 2. Have a monitor. 3. Know your body and know your limits. 4. When in doubt, go to the hospital. 5. Take long, deep breaths and count down from 10 to 1, using your heartbeat as the count. Do this repeatedly while telling your body and your heart to relax. And by repeatedly, I mean like every 2 minutes or so, if not more often. This helped, however small, to slow it down a bit. 6. Do not do booty bumps. The rectum is filled with millions of capillaries, and the drug goes almost right into the bloodstream. I don't know why it took so long to kick in, but I have a weird body anyway. 7. Check your pulse often, as this is a good indicator of any problems. If it gets too fast, lie down and relax, or go to the ER. And 8. Stay calm. Getting paranoid and freaking out, while understandable, just makes one's heart rate even faster. I think one of the only things that saved me was knowing how to meditate and slowing my heart down. Looking back at the experience, I have decided never to do meth or any drug ever again. I have a huge feeling that I could have died and that only by the grace of the gods I made it through. I decided to write this because I wanted others out there to know what to do if something like this happened to them and to warn them not to do booty bumps. Yeah, it's a great safe way of putting it in, but was not worth it. Be safe and be careful, and please remember, when in doubt, go to the ER. It's better to be alive and with a record than dead and with nothing.